Okay, this is basically this will be for Asta, and this is part 5. We last us off after Asta gained his grimoire. Silver and Blood have been teaching him how to use his super form. After that, Sonic has been teaching him how to use a sword. After that, Asta meets up with his teacher from Canon, which gains him more experience with the sword. For the last week that Asta has left, Sonic tells him he has more transformations to unlock. Asta looks at them confused and saying, "There's more than one transformation?" Shadow walks up to him and tells him yes. Sonic and Shadow gets ready and turns the Chaos Emeralds into Super Emeralds, absorbing them. Asta says, "Wait a minute, what form is this?" Sonic tells him, "You know Super Sonic? Well, this is Hyper Sonic now." Asta asks, "What's the difference between a super form and a hyper form?" Shadow teleports in front of him and tells him, "I don't know. How about you go transform and find out?" After Asta gets the invitation, he turns into a super form. After that, Asta, Shadow, and Sonic begin to fight, and showing him what's different between the super form and hyper form. Asta begins to painting and tells him, so that's the difference between these two forms. Sonic tells him, yeah, but it drains a lot faster though, so yeah. Sonic has been teaching Asta how to use the transformation. After that, on the last day, Asta tells him, do y'all really have to go? Sonic tells him, yeah, I think it's about time we head back to our world. Asta looks at them and says, so, this is goodbye then. Sonic tells him, why do you make it sound like we're not going to see each other? We're going to visit each other from time to time, but we will need the Master Emerald back. Asta tells him, well, won't I need the Master Emerald to unlock Hyperform? Sonic tells him, well, introducing the special stage. That's where we're going to put the Master Emerald at. Also, if you want to, you can use the special stage to come visit us. Shadow tells him, yes, we must leave, but we must take the emeralds back with us. Asta tells him, wait, well, won't I need them to use my transformations? Shadow tells him you are very deeply connected with the emerald, so much so that you don't really need to be around them. You can still use transformation. But as for one of the things, you are not really connected to the royal rings. They're still with you, but not fully yet. Even the Master Emerald is. So we're going to take it back, but you can keep the royal ring with you. Asta tells him, wait a minute, I'm still confused. What does this mean? Silver looks at him and tells him, so I can explain this to you in a very simple way. What they're trying to say is you're basically a walking, living emerald. Asta tells him, wait a minute, I'm a living emerald? Blaze tells him, and Mythical Soul Emerald too. You're also a living soul emerald. Asta says, okay. But wait, what about these stones? Sonic looks at it and tells him, you can keep those too. Asta looks at him and says, wait a minute, are you sure about this? Sonic tells him, yeah, it'd be better if you keep them safe. Sonic hands Asta a bag of rings, saying, if you want to come to our world, just think of a certain location, then just throw the ring. Asta tells him, thank you, but what will I need this for? Sonic tells him, just in case if you don't know where you're teleporting to, you just hand it to somebody else, then you can throw it so you can teleport to that location. After Sonic gives Asta the rings, they leave. The next day, when it comes to the Magic Night exams, Asta, teleports all the way there. While they're walking to the exams, tells them, you realize they're going to be asking questions, right? Asta tells them, don't worry about it, I'll just be using fire only. Tells them, so you're not going to use your grimoire? Asta tells them, I'm going to be using 3 things. My speed, my grimoire, and my fire. That's all I'll be using here. Tells them, are you sure about that? Asta tells them, well, it depends on what's going to happen. Besides that, I'm going to be using those only. When it came to the birds, no birds came around, When it came to Asta, almost all of them came to Asta, but he got annoyed at them, so he used his psychokinesis and pushed them away from him. One of the birds landed on Asta's head, basically just sitting on it. After Asta realizes that it's not bothering him, he leaves it alone. The Golden Dawn Leader passes out flying brooms. Asta asks, does it matter how I get to travel? Because sometimes I like to run. The Golden Dawn Leader looks at him confused, saying, run? Asta tells him, yeah, I run pretty fast. The Golden Dawn Leader tells him, well, we need to see if you can fly with a broom. Asta looks at him and tells him, I don't need your broom to fly. He tells him, okay, sure. Asta begins to glow a greenish blue and floats in the air. Once Asta begins to fly, all the captains look at him saying, wait a minute, how is he flying? We can't sense any magic from him at all. When it came to making a projectile, Asta made a small fireball and throws it at the projectile. When it came to the creation test, Asta uses flames and begins to make a 4-leaf clover out of flames. When it came to the battle portion, Asta got a different teammate. Instead, he got a mage that uses ice magic. Once the test begins, the mage begins to talk about Asta, saying a commoner should know his place. Asta tells him, well, I don't really know where that location is. Can you show me? The mage looked at him and said, "Don't mock me," and began to shoot ice at him. But once the ice gets inches close to him, he pulls out his sword and runs behind the man. Asta, with a grin on his face, tapping the man on the shoulder, saying, "Hey, that was fun." But before the man could even turn around, Asta slaps him with his sword, saying, "But this test is over." Once the test is over, Asta slams the man into the wall, knocking him out. After the test is over, they wondering, what was that? Was that teleportation magic? Yami thanked himself, saying, "Nope, that was just his raw speed alone." When the test is over, the captains tell them they have to call their numbers out and see which captain picks them. As for Yuno, he picks his original squad, but as for Asta, when he goes up there, he sees no captain pulling his hands up. He begins to tap his feet and look at his arm, simulating that how long is he going to be. The captain of the Crimson Lions basically asks Asta, "Wait a minute, are you wearing jewelry?" Asta tells him, "No, some of them are helping with my abilities." After Asta answers questions, Captain Yami jumps in and tells him, "You might as well go home. They're not going to pick you." Asta looks at him confused, saying, "Why not?" Captain Yami tells him they don't want nothing that's unknown to them, so you might as well go home. Asta tells him, "Okay, I see some reasoning behind it. It sounds kind of dumb, but I can see the reason. So why don't you pick me then?" Captain Yami pulls out his cigarette and tells him, "Well, I don't see a reason why I should." Asta pulls out his sword, basically saying, "Oh, so you want a reason, huh?" He grips it and tells him, "Here's your reasoning right here." Captain Yami looks at him, saying, "Is this a threat?" Asta looks at him with a grin on his face, telling him, "Oh, no. It's a challenge." Captain Yami lets her have magic and killing intent out, while Asta does the exact same thing, but with chaos energy. Asta gripping his sword as hard as he can, having the most biggest grin on his face, saying, "Are you ready?" Captain Yami begins to laugh and saying, "I like you, kid. Alright, you're part of Black Bulls." Yami looks at a new member, saying, "What's your name, kid?" He tells him, "My name is Asta." Before they leave, Asta walks up to Yuno. Yuno tells him, "A race to the Wizard King?" Asta tells him, "I might as well give you a head start, because you already know I'm going to win this race anyway." Yuno, with a smile on her face, telling him, "This time, this race, you won't win." Asta tells him, "You're on," and they fist bump. After that, Asta leaves with the Black Bulls. Once they get to the Black Bulls hideout, Yami tells him this is our base. And when he opens the door, a fireball goes right towards Asta's head, but Asta ducks in the nick of time. Yami slams his hand on the wall and tells them, "Be quiet, this is our new recruit." When Yami introduced Asta, they began his baptism. When it came towards the rock test, Asta jumped towards the rock, landing head first, breaking it. When it came towards the battle portion, Magna told him, "You'll be fighting me." Yami told him, "Hold on. Luck, get in there." Magna looks at him and says, "So he's that strong, huh?" Yami tells him, "I'm not sure how strong he really is, but I know he's really fast. That's why I told Luck to join you." When the battle begins, Magna begins to throw fireballs at Asta. He's dodging most of them, but he's about to pull out his sword to reflect them. But before he can, Luck jumps behind him and about to attack him. But before Luck can even attack him, Asta grabs Luck's jacket and throws him into the barrage of fireballs. Luck lands on his feet and begins to dash right back at Asta and begins to start swiping at him. But Asta uses his sword to block them. When Luck tries to swing at Asta one last time, instead of him fully coming in for a swing, he tries to do a thunderball at him, but he reflects it with his sword. After Asta reflects Luck's thunderball, he begins to throw barrages of lightning at him. He jumps in the air and blocks him, but he doesn't know that fireball is coming right behind him. He sees them and he jumps and curls into a ball. Asta jumps off of the flat side of his blade, curling himself into a ball. When he lands towards Magna, he rolls all around him until he makes a tornado. When the tornado starts, Magna begins to throw fireballs everywhere, missing Asta until he gets dizzy. When Luck begins to run towards the tornado, Asta sees him, uncurls from the ball, and drops kicks him all the way into a tree. When the tornado stops and Magnus falls, he sees Luck knocked out. Still dizzy, he tries to charge a big fireball. Asta tells him, "I'm waiting, and I won't use my sword." Magnus gets charged a big fireball and chucks it right at Asta. When it happens, Asta runs right towards the fireball. At the last second, Asta uses pyrokinesis to throw the fireball right back at Magna, but he stops the fireball before it hits him. But before he notices, Asta runs right towards him and punches him right in the gut, knocking him out. Yami walks towards Asta and gives him his robe, tells him, "Welcome to the Black Bulls, kid." Vanessa tells him to hold still while she puts the Black Bull symbol on his robe. Some of the Black Bull members ask Asta how did he do that. Asta tells him, "Well, you know I can create flames, but also manipulate somebody else's flames as well." Some of the Black Bull members asking him, "So how do you curl into a ball?" Asta tells him, I am very flexible, and some of my hair that's on my back actually covers me up all the way. Finral asks him, so is that why your hair is so long? Asta tells him, yes, and also, people really have a hard time cutting my hair. My hair is really spiky and durable. Finral asks him, are they going to be okay? Asta looks at Magna and tells him, yeah, they're going to be fine. I didn't go too hard on them. Yami tells him, alright, I think it's time to head back in. He looks at Asta and tells him, alright, your job is to pick up Magna and Luck. Asta tells him, alright. After Asta says that, his hands glow a greenish blue. It begins to levitate Luck and Magna. Yami tells him, so is that one of your abilities? Asta tells him, yes. Once the rest of the Black Bulls begin to talk to each other, we cut to a girl with gray hair with pigtails. Basically looking down on Asta saying, what's with the shoes and gloves? In the gym. And I can't sense any magic from him, but he's doing all these weird things. Strange. When Asta showed his room, he goes into his bed and falls asleep. The next day comes when Asta goes to the door and sees a pillar. He begins to try to use the psychokinesis on it, but before he can do that, the building gets to shift. He sees Magna and tells him, if you're wondering, that's our defense mechanism. Asta looks at him confused, saying, so the building shift is our defense mechanism. Magna tells him, yeah. Magna tells him, since you're new here, I might as well give you a tour of the Black Bulls base. Asta tells him, alright, that sounds cool. Magna shows him all around the building until he runs into Noelle. Once that happens, Noelle basically looks at Asta and tells him, what royal family are you from? Asta basically looks at her saying, excuse me? Noelle says, are you deaf? I ask, what royal family are you from? Asta thinks about this and remember that one line that Sonic says saying that he was a king. So Asta tells him, technically I am part of his family. So he tells Noelle saying, I am from the royal family of hedgehogs. Noelle says, I'm sorry, what? Asta tells him, yeah, my royal family is hedgehogs. Magna looks at him saying, wait a minute, so your name is Asta Hedgehog? Asta hearing this out loud, basically telling him, yeah, basically just like the animal, yeah. Noelle tells Asta, I never heard of that name before. What kingdom are you from? Asta having a flashback, basically asking where are you guys from. Shadow tells him we're from a place called Mobius. Now before we continue with the story, if you guys are getting a little bit confused, I'm mixing up the Sonic comic book with the Sonic video game. And basically one of the comic books, Sonic is basically a king, the king of future Mobius. Alright, now let's continue. Asta tells him, I am royalty and I'm from a place called Mobius. Noah looks at him saying, Mobius? That sounds made up. Asta tells her, oh no, I know, it's true, I can show you. Noah says, show me. What are you going to take me there? Alright then. If you have any other way to take me there, then show me. Asta about to pull a ring out of his pocket saying, alright, I'll show you. But before he can, Magna tells him, before you can show her, you gotta go do your chores first, since you're a newbie. Before Asta is getting ready to do the chores, Noah tells him, if you're royalty, why are you doing the chores? Asta tells him, because I'm part of the team. Noah tells him, if you're royalty, why are you doing the chores then? Asta tells him, because I'm bored. Hope you guys enjoy.